Luxury garden transformation on a budget. Easy DIY flower tips. Welcome, everyone. Imagine stepping into a home where elegance is not about spending power, but about thoughtful design. A place where architecture feels alive, where the garden flows naturally into the house, and where comfort and beauty are created with intention rather than excess. Luxury today is being redefined. It is no longer about marble floors or oversized spaces, but about the experience a home gives, how the morning light filters through a window, how a corner of the garden offers calm after a long day, how simple materials arranged with care can feel timeless. The conversation about affordable design begins with this shift in perspective. Architecture and gardens have always carried cultural meaning. Courtyards in Asia reflected harmony, Mediterranean gardens embraced warmth and stone, while European terraces showcased order and symmetry. Now, those traditions are inspiring a new approach, a commitment to design that is beautiful, personal, and accessible. The question people everywhere are asking is how to achieve a home and garden that feels extraordinary without extraordinary expense. The answer starts with creativity. A mirror, positioned correctly, can double the sense of openness in a room. A single striking plant, grown with patience, can become the heart of a garden more effectively than an imported ornament. Recycled wood can become elegant decking. Discarded jars can turn into a wall of planters. But what defines modern luxury is not cost but atmosphere, the feeling of care, of intentionality, of connection to nature. Gardens have taken on new meaning in this context. They are no longer mere decoration. They are essential to daily life. Studies confirm what people already sense intuitively. Green spaces reduce stress, inspire happiness, and support health. Even in dense cities, balconies, rooftops, and narrow yards are being transformed into miniature sanctuaries. Here, affordability does not limit creativity. Instead, it sparks innovation. A cluster of herbs doubles as both culinary resource and aesthetic detail. Native wildflowers grow with ease, requiring less maintenance while providing abundant colour. Small interventions carry big impact. A striking trend in contemporary homes is the erasure of the boundary between indoors and outdoors. Transparent walls, sliding doors, shaded verandas, and extended patios create a seamless flow. This is where design becomes lifestyle. The dining table inside feels like it belongs to the garden outside, and the living room extends into a terrace filled with plants. Achieving this does not require extravagant budgets. It can be done with upcycled furniture, repurposed containers, affordable lighting, and local materials. What matters most is vision. Architecture follows a similar path. The clean geometry of minimalism still dominates, but it is being softened with warmth, wood, clay, stone, and natural textures. The modern home is no longer a sterile white box, but a living, breathing organism, open to light and landscape. Even modest spaces can feel luxurious when natural light is maximized, when ventilation is carefully planned, and when the palette favors earthy tones over artificial gloss. The future points toward responsibility as well as beauty. Energy efficiency, sustainable materials, and ecological sensitivity are becoming part of the design language. What once seemed like luxury add-ons, solar panels, rainwater systems, vertical gardens, are gradually becoming standard. This shift also reflects a broader cultural desire. Homeowners are no longer satisfied with generic templates. They want homes and gardens that tell their story. That is why the do-it-yourself movement is thriving. Building your own pergola, painting your own wall, planting your own flower bed, these acts connect you to your space in ways that money cannot. The effort itself becomes part of the design. When you see the herbs you planted grow strong or sit under a shade structure you built, the sense of pride and belonging turns into a form of personal luxury. Picture, for instance, a small backyard overgrown and overlooked. With determination, the space is cleared and divided into distinct zones. A corner for dining, a shaded seat for reading, an open patch for children to play. Old palettes are given a second life as painted furniture. Clusters of native flowers are planted to create waves of colour. A few solar-powered lights are strung up to glow softly at night. What was once dead space becomes a sanctuary of relaxation and joy. The investment is not in money, but in imagination. Affordable design, then, is not about compromise. It is about alignment, bringing together creativity, sustainability, and lifestyle to craft spaces that resonate deeply. It is about recognizing that beauty is not a commodity but a perspective. A home and garden created with care can feel more luxurious than the most expensive estate because they are lived in with love, attention, and purpose. This is where the journey begins, with a redefinition of luxury that belongs to everyone. Architecture and garden design today are about balance, atmosphere, and intention. They're about living well without excess, about designing with both heart and responsibility. And in doing so, they open doors to futures where beauty is within reach of all who seek it. Let us continue by moving from philosophy to practice, from ideas to the concrete strategies that turn vision into reality. When we speak of affordable garden and home design, the question is always how. How do we transform materials, spaces, and structures so that they look refined while remaining cost-conscious? The answer lies in a combination of design principles, smart choices, and the willingness to experiment with both old and new. The first principle is zoning. Every garden, regardless of size, benefits from clear definition of space. Instead of thinking of a yard as one open patch, imagine dividing it into areas for specific purposes: a dining space, a quiet reading corner, a place for children to play, or a small patch dedicated to growing vegetables. The boundaries do not need expensive fences or elaborate structures. A low row of shrubs, a shift in paving texture, or even a change in plant height can create distinct experiences within the same space. The architectural equivalent is the open plan interior, where spaces are fluid but still hold their identity. Zoning creates order, and order always elevates perception. The second principle is layering. Just as a good interior designer layers textures, fabrics, and lighting, so too does a thoughtful garden designer layer plants and structures. Begin with the tallest elements, trees or pergolas, that create a vertical framework. Add mid-height shrubs or ornamental grasses to soften the lines. Finally, ground the design with low flowers, herbs, or creeping plants. This layering generates depth, a sense of abundance, and a visual richness usually associated with expensive landscapes. Indoors, layering can mean mixing wood with metal, pairing linen curtains with stone floors, or combining natural light with strategically placed artificial lighting. Materials are at the heart of affordability. Here lies one of the most exciting trends: the resurgence of natural, local, and reclaimed resources. Reclaimed wood, for example, brings history and texture that new materials cannot imitate. Old bricks, when repurposed for a pathway, offer character and warmth. Clay pots, ceramic tiles, or even stone offcuts from construction sites can be reborn as design features. These materials not only reduce costs, but also embody sustainability, aligning with the global push for responsible building practices. Choosing local stone instead of imported granite, or bamboo instead of synthetic panels, creates spaces that feel grounded and connected to their environment. Lighting is another transformative element. The secret of luxury interiors and gardens often lies not in the surfaces, but in the way they are illuminated. A modest garden becomes magical when lit with subtle solar-powered lanterns or strings of warm LED bulbs. Pathways lined with small lights create a sense of intimacy and safety. In the home, layered lighting, ambient, task, and accent, adds drama and functionality. A simple reading nook becomes extraordinary when bathed in soft, focused light. Today's lighting solutions are energy efficient, affordable, and increasingly designed with elegance in mind. Furniture and fixtures deserve equal attention. The global trend is toward multifunctional pieces that maximize use while minimizing expense. Outdoor benches that double as storage, foldable dining sets, and modular sofas adapt easily to different situations. Indoors, the emphasis is on pieces that blend comfort with clarity of form. Clean silhouettes, natural fabrics, and restrained palettes dominate. Instead of purchasing mass-produced furniture, many homeowners are exploring the idea of custom pieces built from affordable materials. A dining table made from reclaimed wood and simple steel legs, for example, can carry the presence of a designer piece at a fraction of the cost. Plant selection plays a decisive role in shaping atmosphere. While exotic species once defined prestige, the current and future trend is toward native, resilient plants that thrive naturally in their climates. They require less water, less maintenance, and offer ecological benefits such as supporting pollinators. Imagine a front yard planted with lavender, rosemary, or sage, aromatic, beautiful, and useful. Edible gardens are also gaining prominence, merging function with style. Tomatoes climbing up trellises, herbs spilling from pots, or berry bushes lining fences all contribute to the sense of abundance that luxury gardens promise. The difference is that these plants serve both the eye and the table. Water, too, has become a defining element of style. But instead of extravagant fountains or expansive pools, the trend is moving towards simplicity and sustainability. A small reflecting basin, a ceramic bowl with water lilies, or a modest vertical water feature can create tranquility without heavy costs. The gentle sound of water immediately enriches atmosphere, offering calm and rhythm to the space. Combined with thoughtful planting, these features make even the smallest garden feel like a retreat. Technology is playing an increasingly important role. Smart irrigation systems, energy-efficient lighting, and modular construction techniques allow homeowners to achieve effects once limited to high-end projects. Automation ensures that gardens remain lush with minimal effort, while smart design tools allow people to visualize and experiment before they build. Digital platforms also democratize design inspiration, giving anyone access to ideas once locked within professional circles. This accessibility is reshaping how people imagine and execute their spaces. Beyond technique, style itself is evolving. Minimalism, long celebrated for its clarity, is now merging with naturalism. Warm minimalism incorporates organic textures and muted colors. Japandi style, blending Scandinavian simplicity with Japanese serenity, continues to rise in popularity, offering balance and calm. Biophilic design, centered on bringing nature into every corner of life, is shaping both interiors and exteriors. The common thread across all these styles is restraint combined with richness, a richness achieved not through cost, but through harmony. Looking ahead, the homes and gardens of the future will not only be beautiful, but also adaptable. Flexibility is key. Spaces must shift with the rhythms of life. A garden corner that hosts a morning yoga session becomes an evening gathering spot. A living room that feels open for socializing transforms into an intimate retreat with lighting and fabric. The ability to adapt is what will define modern luxury, and it can be achieved without enormous budgets. Let us imagine a case study, a narrow urban lot, typical of many cities worldwide. The homeowner dreams of both modern architecture and a tranquil garden. The design strategy begins by building upward rather than outward, maximizing vertical space with green walls and climbing plants. Interiors open with sliding panels to connect with terraces on each floor. Natural light is captured with skylights and reflective surfaces. Materials are chosen carefully. Bamboo flooring, reclaimed wood stairs, and clay tiles for texture. The garden, though compact, is layered with herbs, flowers, and a small water bowl. At night, solar lights and lanterns create atmosphere. The result feels expansive, serene, and deeply personal, yet achieved with modest means. This is the essence of affordable luxury design, making deliberate choices, layering detail, and shaping space to serve both function and spirit. It is about rejecting excess without abandoning elegance. It is about aligning personal values with architectural form and garden expression. It is about finding beauty not in what costs the most, but in what feels the most true. This second stage of our journey reveals how principles and techniques bring the vision of accessible luxury to life. Each material, each plant, each choice is an opportunity to elevate the everyday. What emerges is not simply a home or a garden, but a narrative, a story of how design, when guided by intention and creativity, can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. As we move into the final part of our journey, let us turn our attention toward the broader future, the trends, styles, and cultural shifts that will define architecture and garden design in the years ahead. The conversation is no longer about whether affordable luxury is possible. The question now is how it will continue to evolve, responding to global challenges, environmental realities, and the changing desires of people everywhere. The future of design is inseparable from sustainability. Climate change, resource scarcity, and shifting weather patterns demand a new kind of responsibility from architects, designers, and homeowners alike. Homes will increasingly be built to generate their own energy through solar, wind, or geothermal systems. Gardens will be designed as resilient ecosystems, not only ornamental landscapes. We will see more rain gardens that absorb stormwater, more drought-resistant plants, and more urban gardens that contribute to food security. This merging of beauty and ecological function will set the standard for what luxury truly means. Not extravagance, but harmony with the world we inhabit. Another defining element is technology. Smart homes are already reshaping daily life, and gardens are following suit. Automated irrigation, lighting, and even climate control systems for greenhouses are becoming accessible to everyday homeowners. Imagine a garden where soil sensors communicate with an app, ensuring each plant receives exactly the water and nutrients it needs. Imagine an architectural design that adjusts shading panels according to the movement of the sun, keeping interiors cool while reducing energy use. These innovations, once the domain of futuristic prototypes, are moving rapidly into the mainstream. The future garden is intelligent, adaptive, and efficient. But technology alone does not define the human experience. There is an equally powerful counter-movement toward craftsmanship and authenticity. As people spend more of their lives in digital spaces, the desire for tactile, handmade, and grounded experiences grows. This is why natural textures, rough stone, untreated wood, handmade ceramics are becoming hallmarks of modern design. Future homes will balance digital sophistication with human warmth, creating environments that feel both advanced and deeply personal. Global influences will continue to enrich architectural language. Design is increasingly cross-cultural. The Japanese philosophy of wabi-sabi, which celebrates imperfection and impermanence, resonates with contemporary minimalism. Scandinavian hygge, with its emphasis on coziness and simplicity, shapes interiors around the world. Mediterranean outdoor living inspires garden dining areas, shaded pergolas, and stone courtyards. African and South American traditions of vibrant colors, open-air kitchens, and community spaces bring energy and joy. These cultural dialogues allow homeowners everywhere to borrow, reinterpret, and blend styles into unique identities. Flexibility is another crucial future trend. Families are changing, work is shifting into homes, social life is more fluid. Architecture and gardens must adapt. Multi-purpose rooms, movable walls, and convertible furniture will become standard. Outdoor areas will be designed for both solitude and gatherings, capable of transforming with little effort. A deck may serve as a morning yoga studio, an afternoon workspace, and an evening dining area. This adaptability is not only practical but also deeply connected to the idea of affordable luxury, where one space offers many experiences. Health and well-being are also central. Gardens of the future are not simply for looking, they are for living. Edible gardens will expand, with fruit trees, herbs, and vegetables integrated into decorative landscapes. Therapeutic gardens, designed to reduce stress and improve mental health, will appear in homes as well as communities. Water features, natural light, and biophilic elements will be strategically used to create spaces that restore balance. Architecture, too, will focus on air quality, natural ventilation, and the psychological effects of space and proportion. A home that makes you feel healthy, calm, and inspired is the ultimate luxury. Affordability will remain at the core. The misconception that sustainability and innovation are expensive is already fading. As green technologies and modular building methods become more widespread, costs will continue to decrease. Prefabricated housing, for example, allows for precision, efficiency, and reduced waste, while offering sleek, customizable design. Modular gardens, using containers, vertical structures, and portable features, offer flexibility for renters and homeowners alike. What once required a large estate can now be achieved on a balcony or a small yard. Luxury becomes a matter of access, not size. Let us consider a vision of the near future. A family in a mid-sized city decides to build their home. Instead of hiring an expensive architectural firm, they collaborate with a design platform that uses artificial intelligence to generate layouts based on their needs. The home is built from modular components delivered and assembled quickly, reducing labor costs. Solar panels and water collection systems are integrated from the start. Inside, natural light is maximised with skylights and open stairwells. The garden, though compact, includes vertical walls of herbs, a small tree for shade, and an edible patch. Sensors ensure minimal water waste. In the evening, energy-efficient lighting creates atmosphere both indoors and out. This is not science fiction. It is the reality already emerging. Culturally, the future home and garden will also reflect deeper values. There is a growing rejection of excess and waste. Younger generations in particular are more likely to value experiences over possessions, sustainability over show, and personalization over conformity. Their homes will not be monuments of wealth, but reflections of identity. They will favor spaces that tell their story, support their lifestyle, and respect the planet. Affordable luxury in this sense is not a compromise but a conscious choice, aligning with the way people wish to live. The long arc of architectural history has always been shaped by the dialogue between necessity and beauty. In the past, necessity drove innovation, thick stone walls for defense, sloped roofs for rain. Later, beauty took precedence, with palaces and estates showcasing wealth. Today and in the future, the balance shifts again. Necessity is now ecological survival, and beauty is found in simplicity, in connection, in care. The garden and the home become not separate entities, but partners in this vision, architecture shaped by nature and nature shaped by design. In conclusion, affordable luxury in architecture and garden design is not a fleeting trend, but a profound evolution. It redefines what it means to live well. It expands the idea of luxury beyond cost and spectacle, anchoring it instead in atmosphere, health, sustainability, and creativity. It proves that elegance belongs to everyone, that the most cherished spaces are not the most expensive, but the most intentional. As we look ahead, we see homes and gardens that are smarter, greener, and more human. We see spaces that tell personal stories while contributing to collective well-being. We see a world where beauty is not a privilege but a practice, available to anyone willing to dream, design, and create. And perhaps most importantly, we see a future where the simple act of planting a flower, designing a corner, or building with care becomes an expression of hope for generations to come.